So we do have what appears to at least be some temporary good news here. Now, as you guys know, Texas is a pretty tough state right now because I personally believe it's going to come within 3 points. I think Trump will win it by 3 points. If he wins it by more, I'll be shocked. If he wins it by less, I will not be. But it's a really close state that's turning Democrat, largely due to the mass exodus of Californians because there's so many people in California. California's population leveled off for the first time, so people are moving to neighboring states, Arizona, Texas, these states nearby, Colorado. They're going to these nearby states. Now, Republicans all over the nation, Trump and the Republicans, have been trying to basically invalidate a ton of mail-in ballots. So the Texas Supreme Court has rejected a GOP bid to void 127,000 votes. It says the Texas Supreme Court on Sunday rejected a GOP bid to void more than 100,000 votes in largely Democratic Harris County. So it's a largely Democratic county. Basically, they had set up these drive-thrus. This is interesting. It says the state's all-Republican Supreme Court issued an opinion without comment 2 days before the election that denied Republicans' request to throw out almost 127,000 ballots cast at drive-thru early voting locations in Houston. The court had denied a similar lawsuit last month. But here's the slight catch. It says, but Sunday's court ruling does not definitively resolve the matter, since a federal judge will hear a similar case from the same group of Republicans in an emergency hearing on Monday. U.S. District Judge Andrew Hannon, a George W. Bush appointee, committed on Friday to hearing the case, which could result in about 10% of all in-person early voting ballots in the county not counting. Both lawsuits revolve around Harris County's creation of 10 drive-thru locations for residents to vote while staying in their cars instead of entering polling places and potentially spreading or catching the coronavirus. So it has to do with drive-thrus where people can take their ballots and vote without going inside. It's interesting that the all-Republican Supreme Court has declined it twice now. I have not looked. I should have looked into Andrew Hannon, the district judge, just see what he's like. He's a W appointee, so at least he's not a Trump appointee. I would say automatically being a W appointee makes it less likely that he's going to rule in favor of the GOP in this specific case than it would be if it was a Trump appointee. But it's certainly possible that he does rule in favor of the Trump campaign. But this is definitely huge, and if you take it as sort of a more symbolic or trend-worthy thing, seeing an all-Republican Supreme Court in Texas shutting this down may have a sort of foreshadowing, or it may signal a trend amongst the entire nation. Now, it's going to the federal court. I don't know if it's going to go through the appellate system, or if I doubt it's going to reach the Supreme Court just because it's Texas, which isn't as heated as a state like North Carolina or any of these, although it is getting close to that. But nonetheless, definitely a good sign. Hopefully it stays in. I'll try to keep you guys updated on that. But Trump has actually been losing a lot of these cases, at least for now. These cases go a long way a lot of times. It may end up in the Supreme Court's hands eventually, which obviously now with Amy Coney Barrett, I don't know if she's going to recuse herself or not. So I'm not really sure how it's going to end up. But hopefully him losing these cases is a good sign. We shouldn't be too premature on winning, but definitely something to take some solace in that he won this one.